testimony you gave here in the House. This is before Chief Ortiz admitted and told the truth that there was no security at the southwest border. Next clip.
Will you testify under oath right now? Do we have operational control, yes or no?
Yes, we do. And
we have operational control of the borders.
Yes, we do. And Congressman, we are working to...
Listen what operational control defined. In this section, the term operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the United States, including entries by terrorists, other unlawful aliens, instruments of terrorism, narcotics, and other contraband. Do you stand behind your testimony that we have operational control in light of this definition?
And Congressman, I think the Secretary of Homeland Security would have said the same thing in 2020.
Mr. Roy
reads 2019.
Mr. Roy reads the very definition you just admitted last month in the Senate that has not been achieved. He said, according to this definition, do you have operational control? According to the definition that you just said, no one has ever had operational control. He asks you, under oath, in the United States Congress, if you had operational control according to that definition, and you said, I do. That is a false statement because you admitted in the Senate that no one has ever achieved that. You make it very clear, Mr. Secretary, that you've known all along, according to the definition that is written in the law passed by the Congress, that you do not have operational control. And yet, in testimony to this House, under oath, the definition was read to you. You've asked, according to that definition, whether control exists, and you say yes. That sounds like a lie under oath. Now, I want to change the subject just a bit. I want to set the stage for another clip. Senator Cornyn, just last month, is asking you about the cartel strategy. And he describes what Border Patrol officers and leaders have come before this committee, Congress, told us on trips to the border, is the strategy of the drug cartels. They've been telling us this for 18 months. The cartels are overwhelming the crossing sites, tying up the Border Patrol. And then they're slipping the drugs and the human trafficking and the nefarious folks they want to get in the U.S. around the CBP when they're tied up. It's a distraction. In the military, we'd call it a neutralizing attack. He even says that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of this administration, came before their committee and said, yes, this is the cartel strategy. Let's see clip number 3.
Are you familiar with that strategy? Do you agree with the Attorney General?
I am not aware of that as a strategy.
So the cartel's main strategy is something you're not even aware of. I guess there's no communications between you and the Attorney General? Inside this administration, you guys don't talk to one another? That's insane, Mr. Secretary. You just admitted you have no clue about the central strategy of the cartels you've created by your open border. What general officer would we allow to stay on the job in the Army if he didn't understand the strategy of the enemy? Not only have you lied under oath, you just admitted your own incompetence. It's really quite unacceptable. You knew very well the definition wasn't being fulfilled. You told Chip. Lady from Georgia is recognized, and we will give her the time. The clock was stopped, and we'll give you an extra 10 or 15 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Mayorkas, since you have been in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, there have been 0 miles of border wall added. There have been over 5.5 million illegal alien encounters at our border, 1.3 million known gotaways, and approximately 870% increase in apprehensions in just one sector of the northern border. American mothers and infants suffered a severe baby formula shortage, all while this administration was happily stocking the shelves for illegal aliens at one of the largest processing centers in the country. American mothers were forced to delay inductions at the Yuma Regional Medical Center because of your policies. They have flooded their maternity unit with illegal aliens. Tens of thousands of migrant children have been forced into slave labor in our country because of your policies. at least 853 dead migrants and counting, the most ever in a 12-month period, died trying to cross the southern border in 2022. And now there are over 300 Americans a day dying every single day, without fail, every single day because of fentanyl, deadly fentanyl, which is the #1 cause of death in young people between ages 18 and 45. Now we have rainbow fentanyl, which even NBC News was acknowledging that the cartels were bringing across our border, and it comes from China. This rainbow fentanyl looks like Sweet Tarts or Skittles, clearly made to target America's school children. It's 50 times more potent than heroin, 100 times more potent than morphine. And now, under your tenure, Secretary Mayorkas, schools all over America have to have Narcan to save children that overdose on this deadly poison. Let me explain something to you. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from any border state. I represent a district in Georgia, which is in northwest Georgia. We're not anywhere near Mexico. We're not anywhere near the ocean. But in my district, people die nearly every single day from fentanyl. And I want to know from you, how many more people do we have to watch die every single day in America? How many more young people do we have to see die? How many more teenagers? How many more parents cry themselves to sleep at night, if they can even sleep, because their child overdosed on fentanyl? How long are you going to continue this outrage, complete outrage, where China is poisoning America's children, poisoning our teenagers, poisoning our young people? How long are you going to let this go on?
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on. We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar. You are letting this go on, and the numbers prove it. You can't lie about the facts, Secretary Mayorkas. While you live in denial and sit over there with this attitude that you're doing everything right, you are killing Americans with your policies. And that is a fact. Your policies are killing people, over 300 Americans a day, over 300, and it's outrageous. Let me ask you another question. We talk about terror.
The ranking member is recognized.
You know, we can disagree, but just the fact that we have people watching, you don't have to call a witness a liar. And I just...
Excuse me, does the ranking member have a point of order?
Well,
No, obviously.
actually, I want you to take the words of the speaker down.
So,
But I need to explain.
so the gentleman does have is
Yes.
raising a point
Yes.
of order.
So the point is, in raising this point of order,
And General Lady's time will be restored.
you know, we have a history of being a bipartisan committee that work on solutions. Now, we can disagree, but we've gotten to the point of the language that we're using is not the kind of language that historically we, as members of this committee, we've used. And again, I just think in the interest of civility of this committee, I would implore all of the members that I understand the strength and concern, but you know, there's a way that we ought to conduct ourselves. And what I'm hearing is not how a majority of this committee conducts business, and we can do better. So I ask that the words be taken down.
Committee will suspend. The gentleman will state the words that he wishes to be taken down.
The general lady referenced the secretary and called him a liar.
Chair asks the gentle lady if she wishes to seek unanimous consent to modify or withdraw her remarks.
I will not withdraw my remarks because the facts show the proof.
Okay. Yeah.
So in making a ruling on this, it's pretty clear that the rules state you can't impugn someone's character. Identifying or calling someone a liar is unacceptable in this committee. And I make the ruling that we strike those words.
Sorry, just a point of order, it's a legitimate question.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you move to take the words down or to strike them, Mr. Thompson?
Yeah, sorry, I just stepped in. Point of
Yeah,
order.
take them down.
So,
That's what we did.
Yeah.
my understanding is if words are taken down, that means that the member can no longer speak in whatever the proceeding is that those words were said.
Personal inquiry, point of personal inquiry.
There's no such thing.
Stand by just a second.